What is up, Retro Maniacs? Mike from Mike's Retro Trading Cards back with another video. Today, I'm going to show you my process for shipping cards on eBay using eBay's standard envelope. Okay, now I'm going to show you my process for sending cards using eBay standard envelope. Doesn't have to be specifically like mine, but you'll get the gist of everything that you need to know and how to ship stuff safely. So my process, take my card that I sold. In this case, we're gonna say it says Walter Payton. Obviously, you're gonna put it in a soft sleeve. Gonna take that soft sleeve, put it in a top loader. Now, some people like to use card savers. I know some people get upset when they see card savers, but they work too. The one thing you want to get out of your head is you get the feeling that you want to protect the card as much as you possibly can. In this case, because we're using eBay standard envelope, they're going to be going through the automated sorting machines. You need something that's going to have a little bit of give to it. So the top loads I use actually are pretty inexpensive. They have a good bit of give to them, and that's really what you want for your card. It's not about wrapping it up with cardboard and making sure it can't bend. That's actually going to be counterproductive to what you want to do. You want to be able to have a little bit of flex in that, so when it goes through the machines, nothing's going to happen to the card. Your top loader, even the card saver, is going to protect the edges of the card. It's going to protect it from any major damage. So you want to have a little bit of give to it. Once you get in the top load, I take just a little bit of tape here, a little bit of painter's tape. You don't want to use Scotch tape because it's really hard to get off. And just put the Scotch tape, the painter's tape over the top of the card here. That way, that'll keep the card from being able to slip out. Then you want to take a standard team bag, put the top loader in the team bag, and you want to zip that off and seal that closed. The reason for the team bag, now not everybody will use the painter's tape because, with good reason, when it's in the team bag, it's not gonna slide out of the top load. I still like to use it, but the reason for the team bag is to keep the card from getting wet. You don't know what's gonna happen between where you're sending it and where it's gonna go. It might be raining, mailbox might be leaky. You never know. The team bag's gonna keep it from getting wet. So that's always gonna be a good idea. Next step, I don't always do this because of the envelopes I use, but you can take a piece of paper, you want to print out an invoice, I just use old catalog pages, I use the old PSA Marketplace, the PSA magazine. Just take that and I fold it into 4. So it'll fit nicely into my envelope there. Then take the card, get a little bit more of your painter's tape. And just tape the card with the painter's tape onto the paper. All that's going to do when you send it in a standard envelope, it's going to keep it from sliding around back and forth in the envelope. You don't want that to happen. The envelopes I actually use a paperboard envelope. These are called a stay flat mailer. So I typically won't use this step. I just put the card in because when you put the card in, it stays in there pretty flat. It doesn't move around once you seal this up. But for our purposes here, if you're using a regular envelope or different types of envelopes that aren't like the stay flat, you're gonna wanna have it so the card can't move around. So put that in there. I'm gonna just zip my envelope closed. Have that. I would link to the envelope, but I mentioned the envelopes I used on Twitter a little while ago, and they were from Amazon, and they sold out shortly after I mentioned it on Twitter, and they still aren't back in stock yet. So, but these are just a stay flat mailer. Make sure it's paperboard. You don't want cardboard. If it's cardboard, it's going to be too rigid. It's not going to be able to bend and go through the sorting machine. So just take this, and then I pre-print my labels. I put them on the adhesive labels, the 2 per page, and just gonna put your label on the envelope, and it's ready to go.